Hi, I'm Alan Chenworth. I'm down here in the Henry Mountains along Crescent Creek to do a little panning. If you're wondering, I'm the author of a guide to gold panning in Utah, and this is one of my favorite places in Utah to come. I filed a claim down here a few years ago when I was prospecting, found a good stretch of river. Anyway, I've got several pans in my hand. They're some of my favorites. I thought I'd show them real quick. This one's the Pro-Line pan. Nice, wide, broad, deep riffles that are inset, good, thick, sturdy, heavy pan. I find blue is the best color for me. I do have some others, including a green. Some golds, green works better, but for the most part I like the blue. I also have a second pan, the Pioneer pan. I think the actual maker is by Keen, but I'm not sure on that. And like the Pro-Line pan, it has some nice deep inset riffles. They aren't quite as wide as Pro-Lines are, which is one thing I don't like. But it also has some nice small finish riffles, which are great for cleaning up when you're done. Now I was going to pan in the river, but as it's February and a very wet year, there's a lot of snow and no real access. We have some good stuff come out of there from time to time, nice large flakes and things. But, because of the snow, I'm actually going to grab some gravel up here from the high bars. There's a nice pay layer right on top of the sandstone there. That's a good hard sandstone, and you can see the gravel draped across the top of it. If you can get right down there on the interface between the two, there's some nice stuff. A couple nuggets have come off that little saddle right there above us. And we'll get some dirt from up there and bring it down and pan it. High bar to get some samples. You can see someone, I don't know who, has done a heck of a lot of digging up here. They didn't do it for nothing, I suspect. So right here, at the leading edge of their digging, I'm going to take a few shovelfuls of dirt. We'll walk it down to the creek and see if there's anything in it. Alright, we got a pan of dirt from up on the hill. Brought it down to the creek where there's some water. Let's see what we got in here. Try and find a good spot to settle down. First thing you want to do is get the whole thing wet. Run your hand through it. Make sure the water's right to the bottom of the pan. You don't have any mud or anything stuck to the bottom. Nice and evenly wet. Then I bring it up, hold it roughly level. Just give it a little shake, back and forth, front to back. What I'm doing is making all the gold in here settle to the bottom of the pan. Gold's 19 times heavier than water and about 5 to 10 times heavier than any of these materials in the pan. So it tends to move to the bottom. As we've done that, you notice we got a lot of big rocks coming up. What I usually do is run my hand through there, pull these rocks out, make sure there's still water in them because I want to rinse them off while they're here. If there's any clay or anything, you want to rinse that off. I just pull them out. Rinse them off, pull them out. Okay, I did a bunch of them, there's still more, but I'm going to take this, put it back in the water, level it out. I like to swirl it. Mix all this mud up with a lot of water, hold it just about level with the water. You're actually going to wash all the muds right out of the pan. All the gold and heavy materials are still in the bottom. They're swirling around the bottom and the mud's leaving. I do that for, I don't know, 5 or 10 seconds usually, sometimes a little more if there's more clay. And I'll pull that up, drain the water off, see what's there. There's a lot of gravel. We don't care about this gravel, there's nothing in it. One thing I've done is I've washed everything to the front of the pan too. All the gold's right here in the bottom of the pan. Kind of wash it on an angle like this. Gold's there. And as I pull that up, we don't want this light stuff. Doesn't wash out very easy. Again, we need lots of water. Rinse off all these rocks and just chuck them aside. Okay, so we just cut our load in half. Bring it back to the flat. We want to work that down, make sure the gold gets to the very bottom of the pan. Shake it up a little side to side. Work everything back to the front as we've dropped that about 20 to 30 degrees. Okay, the gold's right here in the bottom corner. You can either dip it in the water, is what I usually do. I dunk it, let the water cover everything. As I pull it up, it just pulls the dirt right off the top. Some other people, let me roll this back for a minute. Every few times you do that, you want to bring it back to the flat, work the gold down and out of the riffles, and work it back to the corner. The other thing you can do is roll it side to side. A little wrist action will also pull everything right off the top. And now if you notice, when you do that, the material can go away really fast. Pull a few rocks up. Don't worry about losing the gold. If it's there, if it's gold, most likely it's still going to be there. It sits at the bottom of the pan. Once you get it there, once you work it into the front corner, it's not going anywhere. You want to work this down so there's just a few tablespoons of material. We're just about there. I'm going to bring everything back to the flat. I don't know if you can see this. I work everything into a corner after I've cleaned out the riffles. And I'll take this and just swirl that water around a little bit. These bigger rocks can really get in the way and change the water flow. Okay, now I don't know if you can see it. There's one pretty good sized flake in here. Right there. That's pretty common for Crescent Creek. Big enough we can actually get it up in our hands. Real nice flake. Not bad for one pan of material out here. The gold here is a high carat gold. It comes in a nice, rich, deep color. A deep yellow, orange, a little bit of red to it. Beautiful gold. There's actually nuggets along this creek. We don't find them too often, but I know in this little stretch of land here we've pulled out I think 3 or 4 in the last 4 years. Most of the gold is fines and flakes. And they're flakes. This one's probably 1.5 millimeters by 3 millimeters in length. Now one other thing I do here when I'm panning, I keep a spare pan with some water in it. When I'm done, I just throw everything in the pan. I know some people like to keep a sniffer bottle in their pocket. They suck it up right then. And you're less likely to lose the gold that way, but I found gold panning, it's about volume. The more material you work, the more gold you're likely to get. And in this case, I pan fast, wash the material out of the way,